Now we're ready to start modeling of the project, but before we do that I will take some time to repeat some of the things we did in the previous course, if you have followed that. If not, this can be very useful for you. First, I like to have my project browser together with my properties here, so I can change that here in the bottom. So project browser, I can expand that so I can scroll down like that, and the same with the project browser. Now the properties. We remember that I went down to the families here to just look at the duct systems and how that is built up. We find the duct systems here, and we have several systems: extract air, return air, supply air, etc. And we also have ducts here that we also find in the dataset. If you follow the previous course, you remember that we went up to manage here and choose manage links to link in the architectural model that we have got from the architect. It's important to have that in a place where we know where it is. I'll just show you how I used to do it, and I will recommend that you do the same, because when you download the model from somewhere and you have it placed in another folder than the folder you are working at, that might cause problems later. I'll just show you that first. If I go into my 3D models folder here, you see that I have all 3D models in this folder here. The architecture model here is the one that I have linked in. Here is another one. If you use earlier version of Revit, you can use that one instead of this. For instance, if you have Revit 2022 or 2023, use this architecture model here. You can download that from the previous course. This project udemy.revit is this project file. You see that I use project, but that's because I will do changes to that now. So if I put this in as a link, for instance, you have all the changes, but I want you to use this one that is empty. So download that, open the file, and if you have this architecture model in the same place as the project, you should be fine. So just make sure that you have that. That was the link, yes. I showed you how to check the system here. If you double click on that, if you open it like this, you see this line override. I won't repeat that now. You can look at the previous course if you like to repeat that. System names, we have, if I start I will now start the function duct, but first of all I have to be in a view that we can use that function. If I stand in this home screen, it won't work because it's not possible to do any construction in this sheet. This is just an information page. So if I open, for for example, ground floor. We have that here. I can zoom in a little bit so we see this better. If I now start the ventilation duct here, we see we got up a box that we can do some where we can make our choices. If we are going to start with a supply air duct, we can start with the width and height. First we start with the system, then we can say that either we have a rectangular duct or we have a round duct. Let's say we have a round duct. We can choose then the diameter here. Let's say we have 100mm diameter. We can choose if we will have a insulation on this. We choose the installation height and so on. Now we can start drawing that. Yeah, we probably are out of range for the visibility of this. So what we have to do to see that is to either draw it in a way that we are able to see it in this floor plan, or we can just have a look here. If we go down to ventilation and the mechanical here, we have ventilation, 3D ventilation. Double click on that, we can see this. There is the duct we just have drawn, model up. So if I go back to the ground floor view, I go to properties here. I click on edit view range. We see that the offset here is 2.3 meters, and the height I was modeling in that duct was 2.5 meters. That means that we can't see that here. So we have to change that, for instance, to 2.7, 2,700 millimeters. Apply, OK, and then we see that our duct appears here. Now we also see that we only see that as one line. If we choose fine here, we will also see the actual length, the diameter of this duct, the real size of it. So make sure that you have that in mind, that you can change that also to medium. You will also see it like that. Next time we are going to draw a duct. We can go up here, choose duct, but then we see we only got a little box here. If we want to do some changes and don't make the same duct as we did here, we go into this options here and we come back to this dialog box, that where we can choose to have another system, another type of duct, another diameter. You can put in sizing methods and all that, installation code, status, etc., etc. I just press cancel there. If we click on this duct now, just to see the properties for it. We see that, I can expand that a little bit. We see that the middle elevation is 2.5 meters, as I said. The reference level is ground floor, so the middle elevation is 2.5 meters above the ground floor. Diameter is 100 millimeters. We see the length as well as we model it up there. The system type is supply air, as we see here. We also see the system name. We can we see that the flow is 0. That's because we don't have any equipment attached to it yet. We will look at that later, how to do that. The next, if we are going to produce an identical duct and model that up, we can just go in and choose create similar, start it from the end and draw it down like that. As we see now, when we are trying to make this similar, if I choose create similar there and draw that up, we see that we have an error message or a warning that the routing solution failed because there is no default fitting or type specified, or the fitting cannot be found in the project. Ensure the fitting is loaded in the project and try again. So what actually happened now was that we are not able to do any modification on this one because it actually not exists. If I choose duct here again now and look into the options here, we see that the round duct is only default and the only diameter we can choose is 1. So that's obviously an error. So what I have to do now is to load in the duct series I know I'm gonna use in this project. And that will be done by go up to duct series at the top here. Choose duct series. Here I choose the one I want to use. I want to use a round series here now. And we see we have pressed radius band, we have segmented band, we have PVC plastic ducts, and we have flexible ducts. So I choose now this one, and we see that here we have a lot of components that will be loaded into the project. We have elbows, caps, unions, reducer, etc., etc. I can see if I prefer the T-type of branch or tap branch, either T or tap. I can choose which type I like here. When we have decided what to use, we press OK. And we see now that this is updated here and will be updated in the families and in the dataset as well. So I can actually just delete the one I started with here, delete that, go up to duct again, start the duct function again, and we see that we now have a round duct that we can choose among. I want to choose that, supply air, I want 100 millimeters. The the same is actually if I would like to use installation here, we see we won't find anything because it's not loaded into the project. Not the sizing method either, but installation code we can choose, and not the status either. So I will show how we find the installation and the sizing methods and load that into the project. First I can start by drawing this duct. I do the same as I did previously. I draw it both here and up like this. And now we see that we have this connection because we have insulation on it. Can just, oh sorry, mark that. And go up here, remove this insulation there. Do you want to? Yes. Now I see I have removed the insulation and only see the ducts. If I want to specify the insulation, I have to go into the data set. We have to go to design data. Choose design data here, and we can take all the insulation for ventilation into the project here. Copy the selected items into the project, like that. We also have other things that we want to, sizing methods for instance, we also want to have into the project. I just mark them and put them into the project here. So I can do the calculation later. That's important to do. Okay, now we are starting to do the modeling of ventilation. We see that if I go down to the 3D view, I think I'll show that, but I can show it once more. We see that our ventilation will show here when we start modeling it. The next section we shall have a look at the systems, the system names, and where to find all the systems in the project.